WebGL, or Web Graphics Library, is a JavaScript API for rendering interactive graphics within any compatible web browser without the use of a plugin. WebGL is integrated into more recent versions of all the popular web browsers, including Google Chrome, Apple Safari, Microsoft Edge, Firefox, and Opera. Unity added full support for building to WebGL in Unity 5.3. In this lecture, we'll build our game for WebGL. Our objectives will be to explore the specific WebGL player settings, build for WebGL, and test WebGL in the browser. Now I'm going to go ahead and build a WebGL version. So under the File menu, I'll pick Build Settings, and I'll make sure that WebGL is targeted, so I'll select it and then switch to platform. And of course, this takes a few minutes or a few seconds, depending on the complexity of your project, to re-import all the assets with the proper compression settings for that desired platform. Now, just like the web player, we can go ahead and click Player Settings, and notice I've got the HTML5 icon selected here, so I'm changing the settings for the WebGL version. So under Resolution and Presentation, I've got sort of the same options, picking the screen width and height. I'm going to go ahead and stick with the defaults. And there's two templates, a default template and a minimal template. I'll go ahead and stick with the default for now. And once again, we've got these other settings. Icon really doesn't have anything. Under Splash, you can actually choose to show the Unity splash screen or not when the game first starts up. I'll just stick with the default for now. And once again, we've got other settings for setting up rendering, configuration, and optimization settings. Generally, you don't have to mess with these, but when you do, they're available here. And once again, you can look at the documentation on these settings to really understand what's going on there. So now that I've got my WebGL settings set up, I'm going to go ahead and click Build. And once again, I want to go inside of that builds folder that I created in the previous step and go ahead and name this. So I'm going to go ahead and name it in a similar fashion. So I'll call this Super Sparty Brothers WebGL and save this. And I'll go through the process of actually building the player for the WebGL platform. And my build is done. You can see in my builds folder, I've got, of course, the web player version, which I created previously. And now I've got my WebGL version. So you can see that this actually created an index.html file as default, and it's got various subfolders. So the entire contents here is what I would actually upload to my web server if I was deploying the WebGL version. And just like with the web player, you can actually edit the HTML file in your favorite HTML authoring tool. It is a little bit more complicated to edit because it is linking in a lot of JavaScript and style sheets to actually, render the game accordingly. So you just want to be a little bit careful when you actually go in to edit it. Just make sure that you're editing, the things surrounding the game and not things that actually affect the game. If I go ahead and right-click on this, I can open this with any modern browser that supports WebGL, including Google Chrome. So let me go ahead and open this in Google Chrome. And you can see I get a JavaScript alert. It says it seems your browser does not support running Unity WebGL content from file URL. So it's trying to run it locally. It says please upload it to an HTTP server or web server, or try a different browser. So you can see locally I can actually not actually test this in Google Chrome. But if I did actually put this up on a server, it should actually work. So let me go ahead and close Google Chrome once again, and let's go ahead and open this in Safari. And it does actually work here in Safari. You can see it opens up. This is no plugin installed, for purposes of playing back this content. So this is all happening natively within the browser using WebGL technology.